Okay, so for comparing Proloquo2Go and LAMP, both are forms of AAC devices that provide symbols and writing for communication. They're both customizable. Proloquo2Go, contrasting, I think it's very easy to use as a user, and it's very customizable with plenty of visuals, and really easy ways to add new words, phrases, and folders. Whereas it does not have the motor planning like LAMP does. LAMP is designed specifically for motor planning, and it has a large core word focus. What LAMP does not have is the type of visuals that Proloquo has. Just like the variety. I personally don't think it's as user-friendly for beginning like clinicians or what's the word? Not client, potentially clients, like for people to get used to. It takes a long time to get used to. So that's comparing the two. I personally prefer Proloquo2Go. I thought it was very easy to use as a first-time user. But I can definitely see with a lot of practice where LAMP would be beneficial, just because once you get it down, it would be really easy to get the 2 to 3 clicks to get exactly what you want. But as of right now, I prefer Proloquo2Go. Let's see. So comparing and contrasting my low-tech board with these apps, three strengths of the low-tech board. They're very reliable. You don't need any sort of battery or internet or software to be able to access these boards. So there's no dead device or anything like that. They're also very low cost compared to the high-tech devices that are can be pretty costly. And they're also very easy to use. You just flip to the page and you can customize it to however you like. And it's just really easy. You flip to what you want and then you press the button for what you want, or you show the icon. For weaknesses, there is potential for a very limited vocabulary. You can only fit so many words on so many pages. So there is a limited vocab for those low-tech devices. And they don't have that voice output that high-tech devices have, so you have to actually show your communication partner rather than typing, like pressing a button and then pressing for it to speak what you wanted to say. And they are very hard. Okay, and third, they're not very adaptable, so you've got to go in and manually fix the low-tech device or the low-tech system to input anything. So you've got to create a whole new board basically, or you've got to manually do it instead of just tapping a few buttons to add into the system. It takes more work to manually, and it can be time consuming. Okay, so for the high-tech devices, some strengths are the vocab growth that you can potentially have. You can add vocab as you go, and it's really easy with just a click of a few buttons. You have so much more opportunity to have more words that the communicator is able to express. There is also a strength of that voice output that I was previously talking about. You can click on a button and the device will speak for you, or not for you, but it will speak through the speaker to the communication partner rather than trying to show them what you're trying to point to. Another advantage of the high-tech devices is its ability to do things such as eye gaze or scanning, or the switch access. That's very great for communicators, such as if you have cerebral palsy and you have that eye gaze feature. So you can communicate without even moving your body. You just have to move your eyes or tilt your head a certain way, or there's more ways than just pointing on a board. And I think that's very accessible for many users. Some weaknesses of the high-tech device are that high-tech devices require a battery, and that can be, it can lead to many problems with just the high-tech itself. Your device can be dead, it can easily be broken, or you need software updates, and there's just a lot of the technology side of it can be the downfall, such as like your own phone. Your phone can break, your phone can be dead, and then you would have no access to what you want to say. Another weakness for high-tech devices is the cost. High-tech devices can be really pricey, as we've been learning in our class. And lastly, it can be a little bit of a curve, and it can take some time to get used to learning where buttons are, especially if you have to click multiple things. But once you get used to it, it's not as bad, but there is that initial learning curve for the users. And that can take a certain amount of time, and I can see that in my clinicals, is like, it does not click for some communicators right away with their devices. It takes time, and it can definitely be a learning curve. Okay, so for our next thing, giving an example of when a low-tech system would be appropriate, and one example for when a high-tech would be appropriate. One example for when a low-tech would be appropriate is if you need a device that cannot be damaged. I know a lot of high-tech devices can have protective features such as like a case or something, but those are not always 100%. And a low-tech device is really good in those situations where somebody might, like, there's a good chance of that device breaking or being dead. So for example, like, I am in a clinical placement with a lot of children with autism right now, and a simple board is really convenient when you don't want them to break the device by getting frustrated. Sometimes just having that simple low-tech device just to see if they're just to see if AAC might be something to look into as well. I mean, completely forget about the ease of, or you not wanting to break about it. It might be easier just to see a low-tech device works for a potential high-tech device one day, to see if they even grasp the idea of an AAC system. A high-tech device, it would be really convenient in cases. I'll even give a case right now in my clinical as well, is children with cerebral palsy. They sometimes may benefit from more of an eye gaze device, something more high-tech like that, rather than actually trying to point to a device. So I can see where that would be a beneficial circumstance to use a high-tech device instead of a low-tech device. And I believe that is it. Yeah. Okay. Have a good night.